Hi, Nancy Forster here, the founder and executive director of the National EFT Training Institute, and welcome to A Curious Question, where I respond to questions that people have asked about our approach to incorporating emotional freedom techniques into a transformational therapy and coaching framework. And we call this Conscious EFT. So today's question, let me bring up my PowerPoint screen here so you can see the question. Here we go. In the training video we watched in yesterday's Harness Mastermind, the practitioner was tapping with the client and she did more than one round of tapping. I thought we were supposed to only do one round at a time. Can you help explain this? Awesome question. So first, let me structure it a bit. The Harness program that we offer here at NEFTY is our 10-month certification program. So it's an in-depth approach to Conscious EFT. Our introductory program is called Discover the Power of Conscious EFT. So this person asking the question is a little more than halfway through their certification level Harness program. So it's important that I say this because my answer to this question is going to depend on the capacity of the practitioner. A practitioner who is a little more than halfway through her Harness program has a much greater capacity for this work than someone who is at the Discover, the foundational level. And so that practitioner capacity is central, is key. As always, it's who we are as we're doing this work, which is the most important thing in creating a safe container for our clients. Okay, so let me answer the question directly to someone who is at this Harness level of capacity. So at that level of capacity, we have spent months and months and months discussing the Conscious EFT framework, which starts with assessing the current capacity of the client's nervous system and then choosing EFT interventions which offer what that nervous system needs at this time. So in the early days, a client has very, very likely limited capacity. Capacity just means the capacity of that nervous system to actually process information rather than to store it as stuck energy in the body. When a client has little capacity and the practitioner also has little capacity, what becomes of primary importance is safety. Safety, safety, safety. Neuroceptive cellular safety, right? This is Dr. Porges' work. Now, neuroceptive cellular safety in the nervous system. It is the first imperative. If there is no safety, then we're in survival mode. And when a client and or the practitioner is actually probably unconsciously in survival mode, we need to bring lots of structure. Structure provides safety. And so, as this questioner asks, I thought we were supposed to do only one round at a time. That's the safest approach, right? The safest approach is to determine what your tapping target is, to get your SUDS level, your subjective units of distress. How intense is this particular target for this client at this point in time? And then do one tapping round and then stop, do a little easy breathing, and then retest in order to see what the result of that tapping round is. That's going to allow the practitioner then to offer the greatest level of safety to this client nervous system. So, for example, if the practitioner invites them into a tapping round and the intensity of that nervous system actually goes up, right? It activates more, then the practitioner is going to choose another intervention rather than just continuing to tap. With that kind of a system, what we would call a frozen or a dorsal system. The uh, challenge is that it is in a place of chaos. It's disorganized, it's fragmented. So it can shift very abruptly into very overactivation, which can be dangerous for that system. So we want slow and methodical, one round by one round. Now, as that client does their work using Conscious EFT, they are going to increase their capacity to process information, as is the practitioner as they move through their harness certification program, increasing their capacity to process information. As that happens, there's more flexibility. The field calls it resiliency at the moment. There's more flexibility, there's more resiliency in that system. And so the system can actually process more information, which opens the possibility that the practitioner may choose to actually do more than one round in any given intervention. So again, this comes down to that very first assessment piece. As a practitioner, building our capacity to assess, where is that client right now, right here in this moment? How much safety is there in this system? How much trust is there in this system? How much can they actually hold with a tapping intervention? And then we choose interventions which are going to support safety, and also then be effective in terms of supporting the transformation that that client is on. One other thing I just think to say around this question is the structure is so important. It is one of the things I love about EFT is the very quite formal structure. You know, we have a formal algorithm that we move through, and then this kind of structure about only doing one round of tapping at a time. Structure is so fundamentally important, particularly in the early days of people doing their healing and personal growth work, because that's what they didn't likely have during their early years. Very likely their caregivers didn't have a very big capacity to process their own information and weren't in a position to be able to offer that kind of structure to the young one, and therefore the young one didn't have an opportunity to develop their own capacity to process information. So that's there's a lot that goes into this question, and it really comes down to this idea about how do we attune to that current state of the client's nervous system and choose the intervention which we believe is going to be the safest and the most effective for that particular client at this point in time. So Conscious EFT takes us beyond sort of a one tap for everybody kind of a process, right? No, we have to fine tune it more than that and really look at what is going to be most supportive for where the nervous system is at this point in time around the particular target that you're working with. So hope that helps, and take good care.